the Brinks robbery. That's for sure. Okay, time now for Grace's News.
Hello, Howie. I have a question.
Yes.
So I just saw a cut of White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki sneezing at the podium.
Yes.
And that's okay. We all sneeze from time to time. But did we ever figure out who the reporter was who asked Ted Cruz to put his mask on?
Vincent Snowflake.
Yeah, I want to know who that guy was because they never asked Jen Psaki to wear a mask at the podium, and now she's sneezing at the podium.
Well,
I just wanted to keep everyone abreast.
I assume everyone's going to be
situation.
quarantined for at least 2 or 3 weeks.
One
right?
would think, my good man. One would think. All right, so
will Cuomo send down the number 2 person in the state health department to give swabs to everybody? And then have the state police drive the samples up to the lab in Albany.
No, Howie. Speaking of that story, I know you're waiting on the list of celebrities.
I can't wait. I
Yeah,
can't
by
wait.
celebrities-
What's the over under, folks, on how many people from CNN got the VIP treatment?
Yeah,
when they were killing nursing home patients by the thousands. I'm going to say there were at least 4 CNN honchos, talent and honchos.
our use of the word celebrities is very broad here because we're considering people like Brian Stelter and Don Lemon celebrities, but we do want to know who was given the special treatment. But Howie, I didn't ask you this yesterday. The story with Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, he was using special VIP privileges to get his family members tested. Are we to assume when they talk about 2 state troopers driving the test results, the swabs, I mean, to the lab in Albany, they had to go to Chris Cuomo's house in the Hamptons?
Right.
I'm guessing that's like a 4.5-hour drive.
Well, how about the ones they went? They also went to penthouses on Fifth Avenue or Park Avenue. So, where the really rich people live, the doormen in the buildings and all that. You think it's easy to find a parking space in that area, Grace?
You think it's all Trump supporters up at the penthouses?
No, they should be Trump supporters, but no. The way you got the special treatment, Grace, was you could either be one of the beautiful people and a friend of Chris Cuomo's at CNN, or you could write a check for $50,000 or $100,000 to the Cuomo reelection effort. You know that.
Yes. No. I
want to know. I want to know the names of those people too.
Oh yeah. No. I mean,
you can't. We can't really shame those people, but we could at least, put their names in the tabs. In the New York Post.
Yeah. No. I agree with you. Howie. So obviously, yesterday was the Biden presser, and there was a lot of good columns on it today. But one of my favorites was John Hinderaker wrote a piece in Powerline, and I thought you would like this line. He says, update. Okay, and it's called Biden Meets the Press, updated. Here's the thing. I went on YouTube and saw the press conference was over an hour long. Sorry, I'm not going to watch it. I've only got so many good years left.
I know. I did read that. I laughed. Yeah.
It's true. I mean, I did listen to it live, and we obviously have all the sound from it, but it was pretty brutal. And all the reviews are in. And besides, I think Jennifer Rubin, most people don't think Joe Biden did a stand-up job.
I just want to say again, I put these in. I tried to get one of them in the column. I don't know if it got in the later editions or not, but when he was reading up from his playbook or his briefing book about what to do with North Korea, and it said consulting with our allies, only he read it as we're consoling with our allies. We're consoling with our allies. And then the thing about the average husband, wife, cop, school teacher pays at a higher rate than, quote, did you catch this one, Grace? Quote, the average person making $1 billion a year.
I don't know that many average people who make $1 billion a year. But
I've met a couple of billionaires, but I don't think any of them ever made $1 billion. Not the ones I know. I don't think they ever made $1 billion in a year. I guess they're not average billionaires.
Maybe he just means like Jeff Bezos, that kind of average billionaire.
He's about the only. I'm not even. Do you think Bill Gates makes $1 billion? Maybe he made $1 billion last year, But I don't think the average person making $1 billion a year is even, except for Jeff Bezos. I don't think there are any.
Well, I mean, Bill Gates does have a book out. It popped up on my Kindle the other day. So according to Bernie Sanders, book deals are pretty profitable. So depending on how the sales of that are going, maybe he's making $1 billion a year.
You know what?
You made $1 billion off your books, didn't you?
You know what? It's really profitable. It's really profitable if you're Andrew Cuomo and you get a $3 million advance and then you only sell 46,000 books. It's really profitable for you, not so profitable for the publisher, who happens to be the publisher of the Brothers Bulger too, by the way. So that's where all my royalty money is going.
Hey, Howie, this could be a nice little sequel. The brothers Cuomo, perhaps, for you.
I don't have
instead of the picture of Whitey and Billy Bulger, it could be Andy and Fredo staring at each other.
Like John Heindeраcker, I've come to the conclusion I don't have that many years left that I can waste one of them by writing a book about the Cuomos. I don't think so.
I love that line. I only have so many good years left. No, but Howie, I totally agree with you. I think that it's crazy he got that book deal for that much. But I do want to say, you said it's around 46,000 books that he sold.
Yes.
I think it's probably 46,002 books, because I think probably one or two journalists bought the book so that they can, have the paper trail of all of his misdeeds. I've seen a lot of these columns now citing passages of his book where he bragged about, getting his family tested or, handling the pandemic. So he might have got a couple more sales is what I'm trying to say.
I really, really want to know the list of the VIPs, though. I thought would have it by now, actually.
I know. In due time. By the way, guys, Grace's News is brought to you by Toyota of Portsmouth, the house of value. I love my new RAV4 XLE. I was talking with Mark from Toyota today about how much I love it. It's finally getting warm here. I've got the beautiful sunroof. But the best part is that if I ever have a problem, I can just contact Toyota. Their staff at Toyota of Portsmouth is lovely. They're so helpful. They're not pushy. They're there when you need them. They're located just south of the Portsmouth traffic circle off 95. Go to toyotaofportsmouth.com or visit them at the showroom and tell them Grace sent you. I don't know if you saw this story, Howie, but Minnesota Theater.
I did. Cinderella
cancels musical production of Cinderella because the cast was too white. After careful consideration, and with our ongoing commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, Shahassan Dinner Theaters has made the decision to cancel our upcoming production of Cinderella. The reason? It was 98% white. That doesn't work with what we're saying we're going to do.
What was the 2%?
I don't know. They don't say. Our hope in the beginning of the production process, again,
it's a
with
big cast, if you have 98% white and 2% are minorities, that means you at least have 100 people that you can quantify.
Yeah, but Taylor, don't you find it interesting, because you were in theater, and when we did theater when I was in high school and in college, if they just went based off who was the best. So if the best singer was someone black or Asian, it didn't matter. They would just pick the best person, and they weren't trying to fit based off of the story. Like, they weren't going off of, oh, Cinderella was white, so our Cinderella had to be white.
Yeah, I'd say that's by and large true.
Especially in schools and stuff now, I don't think they really go by that. So I don't know why it matters what play you choose. Howie, what do you think? I know you're a big fan of Cinderella.
I was just thinking how much Minneapolis has changed since the days of Mary Tyler Moore and The Farmer's Daughter.
Yeah,
well, that was a big reference.
Yeah, that was a lot for me to take in. I know Mary Tyler Moore. I don't know The Farmer's Daughter.
The Farmer's Daughter. That was Inger Stevens.
If Taylor doesn't get it, then I'm off the hook.
It was from the 60s. It was from the Patty Duke era. I think it may have been on the same night on ABC as Patty Duke.
Oh, very good. Howie, can I play a couple of sound cuts here that I found interesting?
Yes.
I want to play, Howie, I don't know if you know that I have stopped listening to Mika and Joe sound cuts. Like, they pop up on Newsbusters, but I don't really give them any mind anymore, because I feel like once you start making Hitler comparisons every single day, it's hard for you to shock me at that point. But I did want to hear this sound cut 16.
Look, just running on anger, and when you run on anger and you don't have actually something to be angry about, it starts to look stupid. I mean, making fun. Okay.
Starts? Now they're mocking him for having a briefing book.
Let's talk about that briefing book. Did you see this, Howie? He had like a cheat sheet of faces on it. And I'm guessing I tried to zoom in because I was trying to see if they had Peter Doocy with like a big X across his face or something. Like, do not pick him. But I couldn't get close enough to see what it really was. But if Trump had that, they would have freaked out. Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. And they would have said it's another indication that he's losing his mind. Because obesity, and he is obese. We don't care what the White House doctor says, is associated with senile dementia.
Yeah, and the list obviously did not include Fox News. Peter Doocy didn't get a question. Howie called it yesterday. I don't say this often because most of my hot takes are wrong. But I said, I don't think he's going to call on Peter Doocy. And everybody said, no, he will. He has to. I mean, it's just part of the gig. But he didn't. And I want to hear what Peter Doocy had to say. This is cut 11.
Anytime that the president has an event where he is given a list of reporters to call on, Fox is the only member of the 5-network TV pool that has never been on the list in front of the president. And I'm just curious if that is an official administration policy.
We're here having a conversation, aren't we?
Yes.
And do I take questions from you every time you come to the briefing room?
Yes, but
has the president taken questions from you since he came into office?
Unfortunately,
yes or no?
Only when I have shouted after he goes through his whole list. And the president has been very generous with his time with Fox. I'm just curious about this list that he has given. So the only member of the 5-network pool never on it, dating back to when he resumed in-person events in Wilmington during the end of the campaign.
Well, I would say that I'm always happy to have this conversation with you, even about your awesome socks you're having on today, you wearing today, and have a conversation with you, even when we disagree. The president's taken your questions, and I'm looking forward to doing Fox News Sunday this Sunday for the third time.
Oh, wow, that's a tough one. She's with Chris Wallace. He's one of the cheerleaders. Is Chris going to bring his pom-poms this time? And incidentally, Joe Biden isn't the first guy to have a list. Joe McCarthy had a list, and he went to Wheeling, West Virginia.
Lists are usually bad.
Yeah.
In general, I mean,
the thing is, you always get caught with them. Joe McCarthy just held up a piece of paper. Later on, they said he didn't even have anything written on the piece of paper. When he said he had the list of the 57 communists, but Joe had a list, and it was a real list too,
and it had pictures on it too, which is always
Joe, Mr. President, who did the list? Who gave you the list? Cut 8.
Just to be clear, how soon will that be, Mr. President?
I don't know. To be clear.
He's just.
I don't know. To be clear, that's a keeper, Taylor. We need that in the rotation. I don't know. To be clear, I know you got it into the intro today, but we just need that one around at all times from now on.
Howie, I will be back at 5:30 for Police Blotter Facts Friday.
All right. Thank you, Grace. You have just hit the jackpot. If you're tuning in right now, you're in luck. I have this amazing all-natural product that you need to try. It's called Balance 7. Balance 7 is one-stop shopping for greater health, increasing your energy levels, improving your digestion, heartburn, arthritis, and so much more, giving you an all-around improved sense of well-being. Check out balance7.com and learn why balancing your body is so important for your immune system's performance. You've heard these promises from other products, but Balance 7 really does the job it says it will do. Best of all, it couldn't be any easier. Just drink a total of 3 ounces a day, and within 72 hours, most people begin to have more energy, greater clarity of thought, and just feel healthier overall. What are you waiting for? Order your 1-month supply at balance7.com. Put in code word Howie to save $10 and you'll get free shipping. Balance 7 is just for you. Order now. If you haven't hit the jackpot before, Balance 7 might just be your biggest win ever. Order your 1-month supply at balance7.com. Put in code word Howie to save $10 and you'll get free shipping. It's a great product. That's balance7.com, code word Howie. Balance7.com, code word Howie to save $10 and receive free shipping. I'm Howie Carr.
Follow Howie on Twitter @Howie Carr Show.